My name is Thomas Bowe. I am 40 years old. I started my company at 28 years old. Um, I, uh, I grew up in the military. My dad was in the Air Force, so I lived all over everywhere. I lived in Okinawa, Japan. I lived I've been to all 50 states. Um, we got around a lot until about high school. So in high school, I lived in North Carolina. Then my parents got a divorce, and boom, here I go. I separate from my mom and my dad, and I went and lived with my dad in Northern Virginia, right outside of DC. I grew up in Alexandria, right there. I played football there, did very well. My friends went off to college. I wasn't really the college material type, and I was slinging drinks as a bartender, and I was doing that for a while. And then, all the meanwhile, I met my wife in 10th grade in high school. So we've kind of been together throughout the time. I spent my days at her college while she was in college, and now we're married and have a couple kids. It gets a little crazy, but in the meantime, of coaching girls softball and working, here I am. I was slinging drinks for a while, and my wife, who was my girlfriend, was now my wife at the point. We had just had a child, and she was like, "You being gone all weekend and every weekend and every night is really getting old. So you got to find something else to do." And it was just so weird because, like, 3 days before, I'd hired a company to come in and clean our carpets and our tile and grout, and they were in and out in 2 hours, and I paid them like $480. And I thought to myself, man, that was just a couple of hours, and I could definitely do what they were doing 100%. So when she said that to me, I kind of thought about that, and I just got some equipment, and I started doing like trying to find out as much information about it on YouTube as I could. And back then, there was not much on YouTube. I mean, you had a couple guys that lead the industry: Rob Allen, Mark Sager. That's who I remember of being in the carpet cleaning business. And there was a couple guys you could like purchase their stuff, but I never bought anything from anybody. I just kind of learned as I went. And I was slinging drinks at the bar. I was like giving out cards for my business, and I would get some of my clients from there. And that was a long time ago. So I was about a year before I opened my business. In 2012 is when I officially opened my business. I was probably cleaning for about a month, probably 9 months prior to that, just in and out, still working the bar. But I noticed, a lot of times when I was working the bar, that's when people were off, and that's when the phone was ringing between, 4 and 6 o'clock at night. And I'm cutting fruit and getting stuff ready. I didn't have time to answer the phone. I missed the call. They just go to the next person. And this was young, when I was young, when I didn't know anything. I was really kind of dumb in my business. And everybody could Monday morning quarterback their business and what they've done in their life and go back and change it. But I just didn't know enough about it. There wasn't enough information. And then kept going and kept going. I got rid of that cheap equipment I bought. I was driving around an S10 pickup truck. It had a big old dent in the side of it, and I was using a portable, so I had to bring it into their house, use their electricity, use their water. I can't, like, looking back on it, I can't believe like people let me in their house, but that's what I let those people in my house with. It was the same setup, because I went out and bought exactly what they had. Now looking back, those guys that were at my house were bozos, man. I was like, oh man, it was probably their first week too, So like knowing what I know now. But anyway, I got done with the portable, and I not too much longer, maybe 3 or 4 months later, I bought a truck mounted unit, a used truck mounted unit. I started finding out things about it, learning more about carpet. At this point, I'm kind of like just starting to get to know what kind of carpet I'm looking at. I didn't know everything, but I started getting a little bit better at it. And then like all these Facebook groups came about, like just recently. And I was like, oh man, this is really cool. You know, all these people helping each other. And that's when my business really started to excel, because I thought I had a nice unit and everything I had was nice. And it was not, compared to a lot of, guys in the industry, and especially a lot of the big guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys out to spend out money on their carpet cleaning get up just to spend money on their carpet cleaning get up. And it's changed my business. I'm going to tell you that right now, because before I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing as far as being a business owner. I was making a little bit of money, putting the money, paying the bills, and just kind of blowing everything else off, But it took a couple hard knocks, and 10, 12 years later, here we are. I'm making very good money in my business. It's running very well. I like helping people. Anytime they have questions, I try to guide them and lead them to the right way. But I have to thank a couple guys in the industry took me under their wing right when this Facebook stuff came about, and now I help my friend and my buddy Eric Hiltz. He builds the zipper wands. We became very good friends, and now I sell the zipper wand at the trade shows with him, and we've been having a very good, long-lasting relationship. Really, Mark Sager probably started it all for me, because he has a vacation home in right down the street from me in Dunedin, and he posted that on this Facebook group, and I said, "Oh man, it'd be good to have lunch with you," or blah blah blah, And we met up and had lunch, and I met him and his family, and we talked cleaning the whole time. And we really kind of just hit it off from there and became good friends. And he just kind of showed me the way to actually be a better cleaner and do things the right way. And, and just brought me to a whole new level of cleaning for people, especially like, just with all the protective gear and where to get things from. And he's really brought my business to the next level. And I mean, myself has done it too. I really had the will to do that, to try to make myself as big as possible in my area. Like, I don't want to be driving around forever. I want to stay right where I'm at. I live in Clearwater Beach, Florida. It's beautiful. It's sunny 265 days out of the year. I really enjoy where I'm at right now with my business and everything that I've learned. And, just by learning from the old guys, keeping the clients you get, and keep your head down and working, that's where you have to be. You always have to work at it, get better at your craft. As far as what I can do, my capabilities are with the physical stuff of my business is A plus.
All right.
I would say, for sure. Now, the way I carry myself is great. Everything is great. I hate the paperwork. I cannot stand it. I don't want to do it. I'm almost at the point where I can start paying people to do it and just be done with it. I don't want to do any more of it, So I do have an employee that just started with me about a year ago, and he's been great. And I told him I want to pay him more, but I want him to start doing that stuff. As soon as we get in there, you start doing the paperwork and vacuuming real quick. Eventually, I'd like to have 2 guys on my truck and not really do the work. I want to knock on the doors and talk to the neighbors and set the truck up and have them, get to work. That's ideally that's what I'm looking for. Hey. And it's going to happen. We're almost there. We're real close. I think my competition are good people. My competition, the guys that are work in my areas, and the guys that I know, that I associate with, that we share information with, we share tools with. Those guys are outstanding, and I think we all are running on an even keel. Like, I think it's very difficult for them to. It's difficult for people to choose between us, because our reputations are very well, and we do very, like the other mom and pop places. I'm not talking about, multiple truck operations, anything like that, but a one-on-one personality, 1 truck operation, 2 small, maybe 2 trucks, family run business. I've run tit for tat with anybody, and the guys that know me and that I know and that I deal with and associate with are incredible cleaners and people in general. My favorite marketing is my mouth, as I mentioned earlier in the interview. I was a bartender for a long time, so it's very easy for me to talk to people. I can talk to anybody about anything. I damn sure can go into any restaurant, bar, or anywhere and start taking tables right now. I could take an order and probably ring it in. Definitely make the drink, 100%. But you know, I think that coming from where I came from is really what helps me get the most clients. I go in and talk to people. I found out who is making the decisions. I just want to give them a card and say hi. And that's how I've been getting a lot of my big commercial accounts. Success is hard to define to come down to a certain measure, because my success might be different from everyone else's. But success to me is living a nice, fruitful life and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't really, I mean, you worry, but you don't want to stress about having money, or you want to be able to work for your family, get out of bed every day and be around, man. You got to be around and you got to be healthy. I think to me, that is the most successful thing to do in the world, because we're all running out of time. The day we're born, we start running out of time. And the older you get, the more you see how much time is ticking away. So to me, successful people have time, and they have time to do what they want to do and live their life. So as you can see, I like to have time to do what I want to do. Just keep trying, man. Keep going after it. If you want it, it'll happen. There's been nothing that I have wanted that I haven't gotten. Everything that I have really, really worked for and focused on getting, I've always gotten. And I remember looking up and being like, man, I'll never be able to afford one of those. I'll never be able to do that. And it happens. So just keep going as hard as you can go and don't stop. There's people that can't work, that can't, provide for their families, that can't get out of bed in the morning, there's a lot of people that can't. So every day is a blessing, and you just got to keep living life to its fullest, man.